it has been a day. I was trying to recharge because there was some stuff online that just really upset me. So I tried to spend the day with my kids, going out places, getting some grocery shopping done, helping a couple of people online because they're, needing some mutual aid. Um, I'm tired. I'm very tired. But I was talking to someone who's also a veteran, and there was something that was, nagging at me. And they're like, well, you're a veteran. You have more resources than you think. And yes, this government is a shit show right now with everything that's happening. But while I still have this right, like rights and, access to resources, I should probably use it if I'm upset about something that involves me as a veteran. And so I'm like, yeah, that's right. I mean, I've talked to the VA about any financial stuff in the past, helping me with housing and stuff, like, VA home loan for this house. I have an appointment on Monday for nutritionist. And that's just because, like, I was told by a doctor, like, let's try to, help you lose weight. It's kind of hard when you're a disabled person, when you're physically disabled and you can't really exercise that well. So I have been dieting in some aspect, like trying to cut back in certain things, but maybe I can do better. I have been slimming down, even if I haven't really lost weight, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's the birth control for my endometriosis. I don't know. But either way, being a disabled person kind of sucks at times. Like, it's just reality. And so I'm trying to do what's best for my health. So I have an appointment with a nutritionist. But yeah, like, this person I was talking to, they're like, yeah, it's just, you have that option. Like, it's not just when you're in the Navy. Because in the Navy, for example, I did use JAG when there was this collection agency that came after me. And it was like, because I was associated with the person, like, I had a former roommate. Our names were on the lease for an apartment. And I got off the lease and had proof of that before I joined the Navy. This whole, like, collection thing about some bill or whatever, that was involving my former roommate. And then they kept coming after me saying, like, well, they're not giving it to us, so you owe us. And I'm like, no, I don't. I wasn't there when this occurred. I was gone before then. It's just because I was known as a contact of that person because my name was, put down as a contact. Yeah, so I went to JAG for that, and they cleared it up in, like, literally one phone call. They're pretty firm about it. Because, an active duty service member, shit goes down, depending on where you are in your command, but they'll go after you. They will go after you, right? Same thing for veterans. So if I'm ever having issues, I know that I can call my local DOJ, my Department of Justice, and be like, hey, shit's going down. So yeah, having that talk with the other veteran helped because I was like, oh yeah, I realized I have a lot of resources still. It hasn't been taken away yet. So I can use this stuff. If there's something I'm concerned about or there's something involving me as the veteran, then I can go talk to people about it because I have that right. I served this country for 8 years as an intelligence specialist. Did a lot of good for this country. Me and many others people won't even know what we did to protect this place. But still, I serve this country and I'm owed some rights, some resources, And yeah, so I figured that, like, you know what, Monday, I think Monday I'm going to make some calls because there's just something that's been bugging me. And so I figured that because I have these resources, I can actually contact people and talk to them about this. And then they can set me on the right path forward because, well, the VA, where I'm at least, has my back. I mean, they've been showing that with my physical therapy, with this nutritionist I'm talking to, with therapy, for mental health, because I have complex PTSD and depression, anxiety for lifetime of past trauma and abuse. Like, I know I'm, like, smiling and stuff, but it's nothing to, like, joke about. But I have utilized that resource. Like, that resource is there for me. And I utilized it. And I'm like, you know what? This question I have about this specific thing, pretty sure there's a department within the VA that I can talk to about that. I'm pretty sure they can point me in the right direction to figure out what to do about this because I have all these questions and I need some answers on it. So yeah, it's sometimes, you get in your headspace and you don't think about the things that are available to you. But yeah, so I was really glad to talk to that veteran because I'm like, I still have friends and people that are active duty, but I also have like many veteran friends and family members. So this particular veteran, a bit older, so I mean, like, they have a bit more experience than me. So yeah, I was like, I had this nagging thing going on. I'm just like, I don't know what to do about it. And they're like, you know what? You have resources. You can talk to the VA about this particular thing. And I'm like, you're right, I can. So I'm going to do Monday. You know what? I think I should take the day off too. Like, well, I'm going to ask my supervisor, like, I have enough leave saved up. So maybe, she'll be like, okay, cool. Otherwise, I'll just make some calls while I'm on my lunch break. But I think like this is going to be an all day thing because if you've ever been on the phone with the VA, it can take a while at times, depending on the department. So yeah, that, or I might just figure out what department I need to go to, and I can just go down to the VA, like, you know, because it's close by to me. So I could do that too. They have like so many departments in that one too, because it's like metro, so it's like pretty big. But yeah, so if you're ever in like a situation, or you're dealing with stuff and you're a veteran, I know it seems like you may not have the resources, but and I get it. Not all VA offices are the same. Trust me. they Some areas can be ridiculous, okay? But it does not hurt to ask. It does not hurt to reach out because you served your country. You have these resources at your disposal. So if you're ever going through anything, financial or, civil or criminal court shit, because they have civil and criminal division for Department of Justice too. So, I mean, you can make a case with that. Nutritionists, like just like I'm about to do for health stuff, mental health too. I mean, that's, you served, you have access to that. Now, granted, yes, some areas are not as great as others, yes, but still there are resources. And considering everything that happened with like COVID, some places are now like, there are certain therapists who aren't even in the same state as me, and they can still service me through the VA because you can do that telehealth thing. So that's a little bit more accessible for some people, a little bit easier for some people who may not be able to go in person somewhere. So like, even if you don't have someone specifically at that location for something like mental health, you can still reach out to your local VA and you can talk about that stuff and like, hey, I want telehealth. And, so you may not have someone who's there like in person. But that is an option for some people. So yeah, sometimes you just need to take a breather and just remember that I've got resources. Like, I serve my country. I've got this shit. Like, if I'm having a question that's related to me as a veteran, I can go talk to people. That's an option. So I'm still a little stressed, but I feel like I'm going to have some answers soon. And that makes me, feel a little bit better. Other than that, I mean, tomorrow I'm definitely going to try to spend time with my kids because, I work 5 days a week as a single mom. And then, I mean, they're old enough. They're 11 and 7. So, I mean, like they are old enough to mostly make their food on their own. So I'm almost out of a job with that. And they can entertain themselves, but sometimes you want to spend time with your kids. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we can catch a movie somewhere or something, or maybe we can, I don't know, but I just got paid. So I'm like wanting to give ourselves a little treat, something, like if you're stressed, just take a breather. Yeah. So anyway, that's my latest update is pretty much just like been stressed lately, and I was just like, oh man. And then talking to another veteran, and they're like, by the way, you got these resources. You can do this. And I'm like, you're right. Sometimes I forget about this shit when I'm like really in the weeds on that. But that's okay. That's sometimes if you don't know, just talk to someone, and it might help. So anyway, other than that, I'm not really going to have many other updates or anything else online. Just because, well, not just the stuff that's stressing me out, but I'm trying to write more. I'm trying to be more proactive in my writing, and my art. So I may focus more on that instead of doing videos. So I may be out of pocket for a while for that. But anyway, Hope you guys are doing good and talk to you later. Bye.